everyone, this is Amy with My Plant Passion, and today we are going to talk about the golden pothos. Actually, we're not just going to talk about it, we're going to propagate them. And I'm going to show you how I propagate mine and go from there. I've got to clean this one up. This one has been transplanted into a bigger pot. He's not as big as this one over here. This one is leggy, as you see. And this is perfect for propagation because that's the best way to do it. And also it'll send nutrients back into the top part of the plant, and also it makes it to where the leaves will get much thicker and greener and healthier. So it's good to do that for your plant as well, and it'll also make it look bushier. So we're gonna go ahead and start with this one here. I'm gonna get all the yellow stuff off of there. And this one also does need a drink too. We're not going to take the propagations off of this one. We've already got some ones that are propagated in these jars and glasses. I'm going to take it off of this one because this one is definitely leggy. So we'll go ahead and clip some of the yellow stuff off of here, off of this one. Oh. There's that. That. And I like to do that if they're a little yellow because it makes the plant look healthier, much healthier. And I think I pretty much got the majority. Oh, there's a little yellow one. Actually, that just fell right off. Okay, so this guy is pretty good. Very, very. Actually, we're gonna go ahead and just throw those away. Okay, and this looks pretty good. I did want to, this guy was actually outgrowing his pot. It was in a pot just like this one over here, and he was root bound, like really bad. And he had roots actually coming from the bottom. So I went ahead and transplanted him into, or repotted him into this right here. And he's got really, really big leaves also. And he's looking pretty good. But a lot of the propagated ones right here are from this plant because he was very leggy and very thick. Now he's actually getting bigger leaves. So this one looks pretty good. I'm going to water him in a little bit. Put him over here so I have room. And okay, now this one, whoop, that one just wants to come out of the thing. Okay, we'll start with that since it wants to be talked about. Okay, so these are the ones that we actually propagated. And here is the roots. And that is some awesome looking roots right there. And what I'm gonna do in a later video is I'm gonna plant these. They all start from like these little nodes. There's like little bumps whenever I do the cutting, and I'll show you here in a couple minutes how I cut it. And they'll start growing from, the roots will start growing from those little bumps, those nodes. And whenever you guys do this and you have the water from here, keep that water because Pothos actually produce hormones that are like rooting hormones, and they're good for other plants too. So if you have trouble with any plants that are not wanting to root really well, put a little bit of the water from the Pothos in there. You'll be surprised. Okay, this one is kind of growing out of control. So let's see, where am I gonna cut him? I think I'm gonna cut it. Yeah, right. Yeah, okay. So here is a little node. Let me see if I can try to get the camera to where it can see it. See that little node right there where my finger's tapping? That is where you're gonna wanna cut above that. You're gonna wanna cut right about there at an angle. So that's where I'm gonna cut this one. Okay, let's see here. Get an angle. It's different when you're trying to do it on camera versus doing it in real life. Okay, so right here is the decent little node, and I'm gonna go ahead and cut it at an angle right here, right above it. Make sure, yeah, we'll cut right above it. And there. So there's one. And then this is probably just gonna die off, so I'm gonna cut this right here. Oh, actually that one. And that one actually wants to fall off, so we'll just go ahead and cut that. It's probably gonna die off, I'll cut it later. Okay, and then this one is very, very leggy. So let's take a look here about how far I want it to come down. Well, we're gonna give him a good haircut, right about there. So I'm gonna cut this one right here. Take my clippers here, I'm gonna set that down. And then add an angle. There. And then that'll probably die off. I'll go ahead and cut that too. There. Okay. And let me see if there's any more that I want to cut. Yep, there's one more. So, let's see here. How far am I going to cut this one? Well, I guess we're going to cut right here. Well, there's a good one too, though. Yeah, I could probably do a couple more. Yep, see all those little nodes right here? This is amazing. Right there. Just a bunch of little nodes. I think that's probably where I need to cut it, right above here, because that definitely wants to grow. So, let's see if you can see that. I'm gonna cut that one like that. Okay, and I'm gonna trim that up too. There. Okay, now we've got about one more that's kind of leggy. Yeah, this one right here. And I think I'm gonna do this one right there. You can see that, the little node right there. And this one's already had a cutting off of it, but we're gonna cut that too. Yep, we're gonna cut it right above that little node right there. Kind of at an angle. There. And that's another node, so I'm gonna cut that right there. Okay, so that, I have given it a pretty decent little haircut. And the leaves, once you do that, the leaves are probably gonna get really, really, really big and fuller and more bushy. And then it also promotes growth up here at the base. And but yeah, that's how you actually, that's how I cut mine. Now, I'll go ahead and put this over here. Put that baby there. And I need some water and some cups. There's my water. Where did I put my cups? Okay, here's some jars that I'm gonna use. Okay, so whenever I propagate these, whenever you propagate them, you're gonna wanna cut like the bottom 3 leaves off. That way, that way you can get it in your jar, and it'll promote growth. And again, the water in these pothos it's like liquid gold. It's amazing. And pothos are awesome because they don't need any kind of root, the root compound. It makes its own, which is really amazing. So I'm gonna go ahead and clip those off of there. And we'll go ahead and clip that one. And then that one. And I know you probably don't want to cut them because they're nice and pretty, but it's going to do you much, much better just because see how it fits in there? It's going to be much, much, much better. If those leaves were on there, you wouldn't be able to get them in there. And you never know. it may start rooting from something way up here. I've had them do that, not root at the bottom, like one of those up here. Let me see if I can find that one, the weird one. Let's see. See how it roots? Oop, getting water everywhere. It's rooting in both places. Sometimes they won't root down here, they root right here. Let me look at the others, see if I can find, okay, there's the one that's not rooting on the bottom. This one right here. So the root is starting up here quite a bit up top and then right here. So it technically did not even really start rooting. Well, actually, that is a root. That's actually like a very, very small baby root. So get that stuff off of there. Yep, that's actually rooting as well. So, but sometimes you'll notice that they do better up top, up higher, like right in here. So these guys, in a video later, we're going to put them in soil. Okay, now I've got this one all chopped up and ready to go. I'm gonna go ahead and put some, and I use distilled water. I always use distilled water because plants do not like the chlorine and the chloride, the fluoride, all that stuff. And I want to cover it where like the last node is. And we also have a node down there too. But that's about where I do it. I'm gonna put that down there. And then on to the next one. Okay, and so like the bottom three, and this guy has a ton of nodes on them. So you may have roots coming out of all of these, which is really amazing. Go ahead and clip that off. And that. And that. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and shove that one down in there together. And check and see, make sure he's all covered up. Yep. So that's about as far. I could probably put a little bit more water in there since he's got a lot of nodes up top, but we'll just see how he does. Okay. And then we're gonna put a couple in here too. Yeah, those nodes are big. Okay, we're gonna cut probably all the way up these three, the bottom three. And you want to make sure that you use a really healthy looking like stem, because this has got a new growth on it. They'll do much better if they're better, if they're healthy looking and not like brown and that type of thing. So I think I'm gonna put more water in that one, and then we're gonna actually put this one in here too. I think I'm gonna put them all in one that way, because once these guys start putting on roots, they're also gonna get potted up in soil. So here's that, and then I've got one more left. These are such neat plants. They're fairly easy to take care of, and they just really produce a lot. There we go. And I love the designs on them. They're just beautiful. Go ahead. Okay. So that is how I propagate the pothos. And actually, I'm going to clean these up a bit too. We'll go ahead and clean up the dead stuff. And sometimes they will die out like that, but then this one is a brand new leaf. It's amazing. Okay, so that is actually how I do my propagation of the pothos. And stay tuned to the next video, because I'm going to show you how I repot them, or how I pot them from propagating from water. Thank you so much for watching my video today, and remember, for your mind, body, and soul, to play in the dirt. Bye for now.